The session is live on YouTube now. You can proceed the session now.
A very pleasant evening to one and all present here. Action is the real measure of intelligence. With this inspiring quote, in this evening, to refresh and create an impact onto the mind, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Savita Engineering College brings to you a webinar on Touching an Intelligent World, Reimagining the Post-COVID-19 World by Mr. S.M. Madhusudanan, Manager, Engineering Research and Design Council, NASCOM, Bangalore. Savita Engineering College, established in the year 2001, an autonomous institution which follows the Finland based education model, and we march towards less is more concept. A college makes the students job ready by providing Industry 4.0 ready curriculum which imparts the 21st century skills. Project based learning, integrated with subjects, improves the student skill set and makes our learners to be the best, which is the motto of a college. The Department of ECE was established in the year 2001. Our vision is to develop the department into a state of art with Center of Excellence in Electronics and Communication Engineering Education on par with global standards. The Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering has well experienced faculty of proven ability and diverse specialization. The faculty actively involves themselves in research in the fields of robotics, VLSI, MEMS, image processing, and embedded system. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce today's guest, Mr. S. Madhusudanan leverages deep expertise in digital to advise a broad range of companies in engineering, research and development on technology growth, digital strategy, and industry transformation. He has also led technology adoption, talent development for the engineering ecosystem, global trade development, and many more. He also works with government agencies, academic institutions on due diligence projects and has suggested some of the key policies for making India the R&D destination for the world. Prior to joining NASCOM, Sir has worked with various private companies in India and contributed significantly to successfully drive mission critical programs for the defense and aerospace research institutions, automotive OEMs, and Tier 1's. Notable contributions include weapon test equipments, avionics test solution for the indigenously developed light combat aircraft Tejas LCA. He is currently working as Manager, Engineering Research and Design Council, NASCOM, Bangalore. We are very happy to have you with us today, sir. You may please take over the session now.
Hey, thanks a lot. First of all, thanks for the opportunity provided to me to be your joint along with the engineering college. And thanks to Selvi ma'am from the department as well, and the participants taking your time to be part of the session. So, like before, diving into the, presentation, I'm just sharing my screen. One second. I hope it is visible to all of you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is
so, the thing is that, typically what has happened is that these days we discuss COVID situation a lot actually. And, it has become our part and parcel of a lot of discussions. Every day you open up, any social media channels or be, wherever you start discussing, I think this has become a new norm of discussing where we are and how are we going to come out of it, right? And, these are really, challenging times. And, today's discussion is, generally focused around, can we, see the light at the end of the tunnel here, right? So that's going to be the discussion point. And what are the opportunities, say, right, like ever optimistic, technologies who are present here, who are the future engineers who are going to build a better world. And can we look through in what are the opportunities which is available outside to leverage. And these are actually, exceptional times, no doubt. And exceptional times require exceptional thinking and, exponential thinking, I would call it. And why exponential thinking is, exponential thinking, with exponential technologies and actions can result a better return, right? So with that, we will start the discussion. So like, very quick slide on, what we do. As NASSCOM, we are actually a chamber of commerce for, IT and ITS industry. We all represent the young engineering workforces, which is coming into the market to the, the Infosys of the world and big companies of the world, actually, the Indian companies. So we have set our mission. So if you see the global trend, right, like we are actually number 2 in terms of servicing the engineering work, right, offshoring, right. To put it in your own terms, actually, like 50% of the global R&D, we have a significant contribution there, right? So NASSCOM's role in this particular area is to ensure that the current $30 billion industry, how it can be moved to $100 billion industry. And we will, to do this, we will require another 1 million workforce, like, 10 lakh engineering workforce added into the system in the next 6 to 7 years timeline, right? And we work with the government, and like we work with academia, institutes, and universities, industries, to on the foundation level, to make sure that how we can make India as the engineering destination for the world. Okay, so not much into into NASSCOM introduction. You all know that bit, and you can browse what we do as well. But before entering into this meeting, I've got a email from my one of the largest Japanese companies who wants to have their organization, the we call it as Global Capability Center, the R&D centers in India. So they were asking us, like, which is the best place? Is it Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, NCR? Which is the one, right? And I'm just wanted to show that as well. Like, this is a question which we received today. One of the largest engineering known company, and which do not have a presence yet here in India. So this is really a tough question. We have the answer, but like, it is really difficult to answer it straight. So the question is that every year, how many Indian students goes abroad for studies, and how many would come back to India. And in China, he is taking an example that China, like most of the people come back to China and contribute to the economy. Is it the same trend do you see here in India as well? Okay, so I don't know what if you were, I do not know what is going to be the answer, right? And it's a difficult answer to give there. And the second question is even more difficult to answer, though we have the data backup. But it is saying that it is said that about 1.5 million, about 15 1.5 million IT engineers. When you say IT, he means it is not only like software. It includes embedded engineering things as well. To be graduated every in India, and personally feel how many of those engineers has the ability to work in international standards. Okay, so he quotes that IIT graduates are good, but he was asking that, like, what is that level percentage of people who are readily employable for international standards, good engineers, right? So this is second question, and the third is obviously he I can't give a wishy-washy answer. So he gets hold. The last question is even more, looks trivial, but it throws a lot of weight, saying that if there aren't any number of jobs available for this 1.5 million engineers who come out of the colleges, what do they do? So this is even more difficult to answer, right? Like so these are the kind of questions and answers we generally face, and we answer every day in day out to pull the companies what you see, like the Microsofts of the world, or Intels of the world, like to establish their presence here. So okay, moving on. So let us try to figure out, right? What it is, and how are things going to shape, touching an intelligent world. I'm off the video. One second. I think this is what I wanted to bring in. The change is coming, and it is coming fast, right? Like AI, 5G, IoT, and other emerging technologies all converging to, forge a world of new experiences and, and productivity for all. The toddlers giving commands and to smart assistants, you can say anything which is available in the market now. Robots going everywhere, we can never go. The disappearance of, the touch-based commands as home appliances, begins to speak to us. The traffic lights, which can see more than what we do, and the endangered species living in threatened ecosystem protected by smart devices and AI. And like the intelligent world is arriving, and it is close enough to touch. And the session charts 8 trends that explain, how ICT is driving the change, everyone and for everyone and everywhere, right? And I would cover this 8 trends, what I feel are going to change the way we look at or live. For example, like, we have been already, humans has got their thoughts to become human gods, right? Like from homo sapiens to homo deus, actually. So these are converging, so it is not no more science fiction or fantasy. These are converging, and already things have started working there. So living with bots, so increasingly smart, sophisticated, and versatile robots are posed to be a huge quality of life booster for individuals in and out of home. There are a lot of examples. I will cover that up. Like, it could include nursing, your companion bots, butler bots, bionic bots, and so on and so forth. And by 2025, the elderly care homes in the G8 nations have an average of 10 nursing robots, and over 14% of the households worldwide will have an intelligent domestic robot at home. And the second thing we will cover is the super site. So super sight is actually, the see the things which like you have never seen them before at work and at play both. The fusion of the AI, AR, VR, 5G, ultra HD technologies, and those are all opening up new vistas for people and businesses. And the third one is the zero search. So, like, seek and you shall find, right? The search is going to be an experience, which is smart, smooth, and button free. And information will seek you at, appliances, the, cars and, devices begin to speak with you to anticipate your needs. So the study by McKinsey says that, by 2025, 90% of the people, will be using personal assistants on their smart devices. Almost, I think most of you started already using it. So the fourth one is the tailored streets. So the autonomous vehicles are going to be there, and the connected networks infrastructure will bring street smarts to getting around, say, to goodbye to the congestion, which is already there. I am seeing a raised hand. Is there anything, an issue? Please feel free to put it in the chat. Um, Okay, and like working with this by 2025, 15% of the vehicle will be embedded with your cellular vehicle to everything, right? So a small thing here, right? Like wanted to add, when I say automated or autonomous vehicle, don't imagine that it's all only cars. It is more than that. It is the trucks. It is many other vehicles which can move around without individual monitoring. There are some surprising facts which I will tell. Like a lot of work is happening from India itself in this space. And the fifth one I would like to cover is on working with bots. It is precise, tireless, and always available. And robots will be taking one or more mundane, dangerous, and delicate tasks in the workplace, freeing up for a higher value work. Actually, by 2025, the study says about more than 100 robots will be working alongside every 10,000 employees in manufacturing. Already it is significantly increased, actually. and the sixth one being augmented creativity. So, if you want to unleash your inner genius artistically or at work, AI is the tool that can power huge gains actually. By 2025, so 97% of large companies will be using AI, and the next one being frictionless communication, right? Accuracy, understanding, and trust will underpin tomorrow's communications. And expect companies that customize products just for you on an end to language barriers. So by 2025, 100 billion connected devices will be in use, and companies will utilize 86% of the data they generate. The last but not least is the symbiotic economy with a cloud at the core, a global digital economy where resources and outcomes are shared is emerging based on the three major features. It is inclusive, sustainable, and partnerships. By 2025, every company everywhere will be using cloud technology, and 85% of the business applications will be cloud-based. So this is what we will cover in detail in the session for today. And can we bring up the polls? Like, if can Madam, you can bring up, or should I bring it up? So yeah, let us have this poll. We will give about 30 seconds for everyone to go for the poll. So yeah, please share your inputs. Okay, I think I have hit. Okay, I expect it's going up. So we'll wait for 20 more seconds. Yes. Okay, still going on. Another, I think, 15 more seconds. People are not so quick. I don't know. Youngsters, the digital natives. Okay. Yeah, I think another
Where the polls
10 seconds. We'll close it. We'll close the poll now. I'm closing
Okay,
the
sir.
poll. Yeah, I will operate, ma'am. No need to worry. Yeah. Okay. So yes, right. We have. Can you guys see the poll results? Right. So this is a trend. So you want to see future engineering opportunities, and there are about 50 percentage. 19 of them are saying that problems to focus to shape a better career. Yeah. So we will cover this all up, and I'm launching another poll. Okay. Okay. 1 second. We'll go for another poll. So please feed your inputs. We'll have 30 seconds for inputs to be captured. How do you want this delivery to be? Yeah. Okay, I'm ending the poll. We'll go with the maximum, right? Okay. So yeah, so you're able to see the poll results, I believe, and I think there's a balanced thoughts and interactive session. We'll try to keep it the same way as you all ask, so it will not be raining inputs for you. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we'll go to the break. Ma'am, you're able to see the slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So see, yes, living with the bots. So, increasingly, the smart and sophisticated and versatile robots are poised to be a huge quality of life booster for individuals in and out of home. So, there are about few examples I have covered. Like this will impact industries both in, healthcare, education, leisure, and, recreation and housekeeping and emergency services, so on and so forth. right? So let us start with the nursing bots. So nursing bots are nothing but which can collect data from sensors embedded in wearables, or from around the home. Sensors which will enable predictive analytics to anticipate and respond to potential health issues, right? And there are some bots which acts as a small first aiders that can respond to the millisecond level of sudden incidents such as heart attacks, asthma, which is actually to administer any care during that golden 6 minutes, right? So beyond this, like even during the COVID times, with industry, we ourselves also has launched some solutions which can be available, used by the patients remotely at home, and the details of the health and health of the patient is constantly alerted to the medical care units actually. And this will also useful in performing medical functions such as checkups, either autonomously or under the instruction of a healthcare professional working remotely. So the nursing boards transmit medical data to clinics and hospitals, thus ensuring that the healthcare professionals have real-time patient information, serving as automated. It could also a lot of things works on. See, like a simple small example here is actually this bots need not be only attached as a medical kind of thing. The one of the leading organizations, the automotive in India, like the Mercedes Benz, you all know that they constantly push the boundaries and innovate. So the team is constantly working on a solution to have a wearable attached on the seat belt, right? Like if many people are constantly on the move, right? Like you take your truck drivers or be it your some of the business class people and things like that. The seat belts are like off, meaning it's like it is just there. It is passive, right? And can we make it active? So some of the thoughts which came out is that there is a study that about 15% or 16% of fatalities in road happens due to some issues arises with heart and things like that. So they are putting up a wearable device on the seat belt which constantly monitors and takes back sends the signals back. And going on to the next one are the companion bots. So like companion bots are things which are like your study bots, or it could be therapy bots, it could be friendship bots and things like that. So study, but like a few of the things like the study bots by 2025, IHG has estimated it is expected that every child will benefit from an Einstein like smart tutor that will customize the study plans and on personalized interest and preferred learning methods. Even some of the startups in India back in our own warehouse has started working on this predictive modeling of what's the child's interest is and where he is weak or she's weak, and train them on that and things like that. So these are bots which will be always there. There are therapy bots, like there are children the autism spectrum disorders, uh, the research using humanoid social robots is underway to evaluate the brain signals to such children. And that, right, like about 1 in 68 children gets affected by autism. And if early detection is there, intervention is there, I think we can have a better children's psychological and things like that. And the third aspect is the friendship bots, right? Like many companies are specializing in friendship bots in a variety of humanoids and animal forms. um, so moving on to the next one are like bionic bots. I think fairly, I think many of you are aware, like the exoskeletons, right? And the prosthetics, right? Like, even well, the shin and the foot, or the shoes can be customized these days. There are shoes which is available, which which changes its it's kind of a memory foam technology, but it is not so static. It is so dynamic depending on your where or which segment you want to do. Like if it is going to be a work, relaxed mode, the sports mode. There are a lot of modes which is available. These all bots within those elements, facilitate such a freedom to work, right? And the market is astonishingly growing at 40% CAGR, this particular market. And the prosthetics, right? The prosthetics with a more specific application than exoskeletons. Like the smart prosthetics are getting smarter with machine learning, able to make the brain limb connection that automatically conveys the intention of an action to the limb, right? Like so like the ML isn't the ideal solution for prosthetics, as the wearer needs to teach the limb actually mentally, motion by motion. So there are augmentation devices. So there are I don't know if you have heard of the bionic lenses, which are already available as a replacement for the natural lens, eyes natural lens with the camera optics, so that this can solve about over 39 million fully blind people, and 246 million people visually impaired, right? Like people worldwide will benefit from this augmenting technologies. And the butler bots, right? Like the butler bots are is available in various forms. Can pick up a slack and perform basic tasks like it could be like folding cloths, vacuuming, and picking things up. And in case scenarios like fires, gas leaks, or break-ins, butler bots can serve a variety of functions actually. Averting them through alerts. That's one way. But like even for the first response, right? For example, locking doors, or shutting down a gas supply, or even to the matter like activating the home sprinkler or the factory sprinkler systems, using embedded cameras to transmit home layouts, right? Like for example, if there is a fire, this bots can move internally and show where where the what is the source of the fire, and it can douse it. So there are already like 200 million homes around the world. Like butler bots will continue to learn. So these are actually the bots which is actually changing, right? And let's see what's there in the super site. It is like to see the things like you have never seen them before. Using the technologies of AI, AR, VR, and all those 5G and ultra high speeds. So it is actually beyond distances. There are spaces, like there are organizations in India working on like beyond distance in oil and gas and things like that. So there are pipeline robot, patrol robots equipped with 5G transmitters and 4K cameras, can monitor and examine pipes actually from a control room. Engineers can examine the cause of faults by switching the the angle of vision, making an assessment, and sending repair commands to the robot. So also by the note here is that by 2025, it is predicted that like about 4,000 plus robots will be in place to inspect a substation equipment, right? And the substations like the electricity grids, and this the market size is about $500 million, up from $76 million only in 2017. In 3 years time, it is like the kind of growth this industry has seen is really, really phenomenal. The supersite, some of the systems which is actually also being developed at IIT Chennai. So the sewage systems, right? Like I forgot the name of the organization which is working on it. So the sewage pipes range in from like the 6 inches to 150 like about 30 feet in diameter. Its low pressure systems tend to use a small grinder pump located at each point of connection, and inspecting the smaller pipes for corrosion, deformation, and blockages, and can be impossible for humans to reach. So like to identify the cracks and things like that. So let's see, like, beyond distortion, right? Like, digital imaging is, getting smarter, enabling distorted or, fragmented images to be transformed into a masterpiece, right? Like, I don't know, like, there are many, peculiar cases are there with AI. They could, build the whole, what do you call, the art form to life actually. So the AI can figure out the true scene behind the distortion caused by, for example, it could be dirt or rain. And when the image is heavily pixelated, the tech can work on the video to actually, to bring up the images back. So it is more than the photo editing tool, I would say. The technology is actually resulting in, AI powered machines that can interpret the real world in the same way how we can, right? So when I say beyond the surface, so AI-powered bots, as all you know, that can detect more than 50 diseases, as well as a human doctor actually. So there is a typical study which is made. The AI, the engine could predict, the diagnosis, same diagnosis as good as an like an 8 doctors performed 94 percentage, to that detail actually, like, they could predict it right, what could be the issue. So there are gradual changes which is happening to our eyes, are like, hard for doctors to notice until it is, it is a particular disease manifest, right? Like, AI diagnostic tools can can give early warnings of a possible, eye disease and prompt treatments, bringing with it an immediate improvement to eyesight and clarity of vision regardless of, the distance. So history is another important area where supersight has really worked. You all know this. This has happened, like in 2001, when the Taliban destroyed the complete the Buddhas of Bamia of in Afghanistan. So to create a full-scale version, right? Like you all know that, the statue is about 53-meter high, and the technologies used the AR and, cutting-edge 3D laser projectors with a power of about 600,000 lumens, which is equal to roughly, I think, 30 to 40 cinema projectors to bring the thing back, right? Like, Supersight pushes through the barriers of time, bringing in history of in the realm of today, actually. So as a whole, this market is growing significantly high. Just make a note, it is about 1.3 trillion market. Every year it is growing at about 12% CAGR, and you all could be there working on those areas as well. Yes, let's move on to Zero Search. We'll move on for a couple of more, and then, like, pause to take some questions if it is so, and else, like, if it is okay, like, we can just complete it and, come back as well. Right, the Zero Search, like, seek, what you find, like, it's smart, smooth, and button free, right? So zero fault maintenance, as you all know, that AI can be trained on, like, one classic example of the Zero Search is actually the flight and maintenance data, right? It's tons of data used to get generated in each of the flight actually, each of the sensors, each of the what do you call, even the nuts and bolts has to be maintained to have a safe flight, right? And the AI, there are AI tools which is already developed, which needs a lot more improvisation. But AI can automatically identify potential faults and flag damage, configure the toolkits and design a maintenance plan and assist engineers in developing the maintenance reports. So the engineer can receive the predictive maintenance, prompts for specific components, and perform inspections before the faults or damage even can occur. They do not need to waste time searching for the faults and performing complicated technical reporting processes. Instead, the top engineers can focus their attention on the faults fixing. Right. There is another important thing is that like the smart street light solutions. So some of the ICT vendors has made, it can maintain on its own. Like, it can see their shelf life and, trigger the maintenance when it is required. As AI becomes a part of products, people use every day. There are a lot of backend platforms collect information on user, what you do on a day-to-day basis, their preferences, including your travel schedules. Like, we all are getting monitored. Even we switch off your phones or something like that, right? And I hope everybody is aware of those things actually. And including the travel, where from what point to what point you have made, and the shopping addresses, interests and hobbies and things like that. These platforms will integrate and connect fragmented user data and create a profile within the boundary of the user permission, right? It is not that they are going to encroach your permissions, but they will obviously get your permissions and generate that me network, right? So, the me network will automatically recommend, friends, be it artists or the exhibitions you want to visit, or concerts you want to attend, and other events and things like that, so on and so forth. So the user no longer has to search actually, right? Like-minded friends, interest groups. So it could be lifestyles and entertainment services. All of these things will be offered to them without they even searching for it, right? And there is button-free interaction, right? Like, AI technologies such as the voice recognition, many of you are aware, the facial recognition and the gesture recognition are already being, broadly applied. We no longer need to click buttons to search or give, instructions. One funny way of organization which has implemented is, actually there is a theater in UK, which has told that in these times, like, like, it is difficult to hold the attention span of people. So what they have done is that, meaning they have reduced, they have put that zero fee for the tickets, right? You don't have to pay a fee to attend that particular event at the theater or a drama. And it's a, a comedy show. And they have put a, what do you call, a tab in every seat. And, that you have to give permissions for the tabs to watch your facial recognition. For every laugh, there is 10 cents will be detected. So if you don't laugh, if you stare, you can be there in the show without enjoying and come back without paying a penny and come back, and laugh as loud as you want. But if you smile and laugh, and the facial recognition system captures it, and for every smile you open your mouth and smile, laugh, you will be charged for that particular thing. So these are some of the technologies which is being leveraged, right, in these days to make fundamental shifts actually. So this is another interesting area, right? Like the tailored streets, like autonomous vehicles and connected network infrastructure will bring the streets smarts to getting around. Say goodbye to all the congestion in Bangalore. It's severe congestion used to be will be happens to be there, and currently not though. I think Chennai is also not second to that. I think there also used to be congestions. So with this all technologies, like we can have congestion free cities actually. So there are in Shenzhen, like has trialed the AI technology for nine major congestion black spots actually, where junctions used to be frequently blocked during morning and evening and rush hours. As a result, average using this AI technology, like the vehicle speed has increased by 15%, saving about 10 minutes on average. Like the intelligent connected world vehicles become more and more like communicate each other, and with the traffic lights as well, right? And have a better alert the driver with a better plan for their routes. So this is also being not to this extent, but this is also being experimented at few signals or congestion points at Bangalore too, right? And this needs a huge development, things like that.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. We are not
Yeah.
able to see your video. Have you stopped it, sir, or any
No,
issues?
I do not have a video as of now. I'm not showing any video.
No, no, sir. Your face, we could not see it, sir. I
Oh, is
think
it
you have
okay?
stopped the video.
Yeah, yeah, I stopped the video. Yeah, I was thinking like it will be a distraction, so I do not want
Okay,
to have
sir.
a
Then
video.
fine, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So post the session, we will take it on again.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Videos are really a distraction. So yes, so let us yeah, just coming back, right, like the V2X, we call it as like the cellular vehicle to everything, right? When I say autonomous, right, I just wanted to bring here the advanced driver assist systems which are there, like 80% of the system which is being deployed in Tesla cars are being developed from a center in Bangalore. This is a side note which I wanted to give you guys, actually, like the kind of innovation which is happening in the country. And for obvious reasons, I can't come out and say that which organization it is. And this is one of the oldest, and to be precise, it is one of the few first entrants into the country on the engineering side back in 80s, late 80s actually. And when I say autonomous, right, like I just wanted to burst a myth. It is not only the cars which is on road, but it is actually more than that. The trucks also, there are already this is available in web. You can go and check, like the Caterpillar trucks which is being designed, the electronics portion which is being designed from the Chennai facility already carries 1 million metric tons of ores actually every year through an autonomous process. These trucks are really autonomous already. So when I let's come back. So it's congestion free. 1 second. This one. So yeah, please feel free to stop me if I am not audible, or if I go too fast. Please feel free to stop me wherever it is. So
Sure,
I'll
sir.
access the chats actually. So like the intelligent traffic controls, right? Like the traffic control solutions can help monitor and predict potential congestion by analyzing the data from multiple sources in real time. By fully utilizing the 5G and connected intelligent cars, IoT and quantum computing, and other intelligent technologies, a healthy, what you call, intelligent transport system can help ease the lives of busy urban residents. Like we all know how much it means to us. Actually, I do not know if you regularly commute on a peak time. It is really it gets on to you actually. Like, the energy it sucks is so huge. Sorry for that. And there are virtual emergency lanes. There is no emergency lanes per se dedicated in Indian scenario, but most of the countries has that emergency lanes. This occupies huge space, right? And with the advent of this V2X, vehicle to everything, and the cellular vehicle to everything technologies, you need not have a dedicated lane. And as and when we approach or a scenario occurs, actually, the signals can be alerted, and it can be made free to move forward actually. According to again McKinsey research, by 2025, the global the market for self-driving vehicles will potentially soar from to $2 trillion. So by the way, like our economy is a $2 trillion economy, right? Like, so that's the kind of opportunity which is available for the engineers to solve. So obviously there are benefits, like accidents will be reduced and things like that. So moving on to the next one, right? Working with bots, right? And this is already there. A lot of examples are already available. But to be bots are like precise, and they are tireless, and they are always available 24/7, right? It can replace mundane, dangerous, and even the delicate tasks in workplace, freeing up for higher value work, right? Let's take an example of the hazardous environment. So the firefighting robots, the cases which I told earlier, right? Like it can typically tackle fires, the explosions and gas leaks. They can collect, process, and transmit data, which no human can do in that kind of an environment, right? And in 2018, researchers from Japan's Tohoku University, right? Like Tohoku University developed a new kind of firefighting robot that can rise on high pressure jets on with of water and propel water into the heart of the fire actually. So go and Google it, and I think like that's an interesting case study to look at as well. So this is equipped with both optical and infrared cameras. It can relay what's happening on site, and so that the firefighters have a great insight into how to approach a particular incident. So the repetitive tasks is one thing. Yes, like this can scan quickly, and for small example is that this is actually a construction site, right? The robot, you need to count the number of iron bars, the steel bars going into the system. This is a repetitive thing. This can be replaced with robot. I think there is an organization from Swiss is using these robots to improve their efficiency. And last but not the least, there are a lot of robots. The one in the background which picks up the right fruit, which is also available in the Indian markets as well. And the high precision ones, you all knew about this human brain surgery, right? The human brain has about more than thousands of neurons actually, making brain surgery life threatening. More importantly, the surgery, right? Like it exhausts the surgeons actually, because it is a rigorous process. It's time taking process. And hospitals in China have been using these robots to help with guidance and positioning of craniotomy openings, or to remove cysts when treating epilepsy and things like that. So these work in unison with the 5G technology. This is where like the whole thing change, the game changes, because the latency is so low that like this is so precise, as good as you are there, right? You perform it, so you are not tiring, you are not tired, and you perform these tasks actually. And yeah, this is another interesting thing, augmented creativity, right? A lot of interesting things are there in this space as well, right? When you want to unleash your inner genius, right? Like be it artistic or be it at work, right? Like AI tools can help a lot. So what is fundamental to any of the innovation or creativity is that it's a trial and error method of discovering the process, right? Like experiment full of it is experimentation and the false starts. So as there are no predetermined paths to success, it is crucial to understand how to manage risks and improve the success rate. So always everyone knows that like countless of folks tend to punctuate the research pathway in anything. I think many of your researchers know that. And it's not uncommon for a team to spend decades on a single project. So this partly on a lighter vein explains why the Nobel Prize winners are often, right, like well advanced in their careers with less hair and a lot more grace, if it is even there, right? And today's explorers may find the keys for unlocking the future in the shape of algorithms trained with massive data sets. It can go on and on and come out with the possible areas to focus on as well, right? So major thing is that for any of the IP these days, the data is getting generated so huge. Protecting the IP and encouraging originality is also important. AI is a tool which can go through these data sets and identify that whether the what do you call, the research is genuine. It is one's own to protect one's own IP actually. And AI inspired creativity, I know like many of you would have known this, I believe, right? And intelligent applications expand in the creative sector. It becomes ubiquitous that everyone will be able to capture the inspiration, right? Any of the art forms, right? They find in the world around them and incorporate it into their own creations with the help of AI. For example, in 2019, Huawei unveiled a unique, I think, a version of Symphony number 8, actually, I think, in London, if I'm right. And it got completed at last, actually. So what has happened behind is that the a gentleman called Lucas Cantor, US film composer, actually like analyzed the 90 Schubert songs and some other works that influenced the young composer, and then fed all those into an AI system on his smartphone. And what happened is that with the help of dual neural processing units, the accelerator, the AI accelerator, embedded in his smartphone, he could produce a new ending to the whole the symphony note, actually note 8. And so AI technology offers these opportunities to anyone who wants to create something new while retaining the spirit of the past. Once again, maybe that the classical music again becomes vital innovation art form. So we'll go on to the next one quickly, and we'll so frictionless communication. Right. So this is another important area, like the where the lot of works are happening already. Like the accuracy and of understanding and trust will underpin tomorrow's communications. Just to give a small example, that you need not know any language, you need not learn any new language to be there in a different geography. I personally myself, when I was traveling abroad in a German, that English is not so prevalent, or English speakers, you can't find them more. So we leveraged the Google translators to just to translate. I speak in English, and the Google translator translates it to German, and the German guy, when he speaks up, we could travel almost for 6 to 7 days without any hassle. So this is what technology powers, actually. So what happens is that there are multiple dialects, multiple languages. All these things has been processed, without any friction, and you will feel at ease, right? So companies are actually now using intelligent technologies to help them design innovative business models. A lot of service providers have always had access to service level data, like your as I told you, like the customer buying habits, and so on and so forth. And they can find online and offline information about a customer's career, interests, preferences, and so forth. And this AI algorithms, which can uncover the customer's real and hidden needs. So the industry can go and address or solve the needs of the customers without even getting near to them, or talk to them in their own dialect, actually. So there are a lot of conflicts generally happens between patients and even doctors. So in terms of what he tells and what is being interpreted by the layman. So these also can be avoided, actually. So for the lack of time, I'll just quickly move on to the next one, the last one though. And it is a symbiotic economy. And like the cloud is going to be at the core, a global digital economy where the resources and outcomes are shared is in the emerging, right, like on three major features. So this is going to be the fundamental fulcrum of the economy: the inclusivity, sustainability, and partnerships. These are going to be the three fundamental things which will drive any economy, actually. So there are a lot of success stories, like in Mongolia, like they them, like they are not so what do you call they live like a nomadic lives, many of them, about 800,000, right, 800,000 households are still dislocated from the normal urban living or even the village living. So there is an organization which has worked very deep with them, and like provided tech solutions, so that like I think they have covered up almost 100,000 households to access to the internet, and thereby improving their living. So I will touch last one thing here, I think, which is very, very interesting. So unconventional industries come together. I do not know if there are a lot of Netflix fans will be there. You all would have watched the Wandering Earth. which was released in 2019. Actually, I do not know if it is late 2019s. And the kind of graphics, right, which is being developed, the organization, unless the US ecosystem, the Chinese ecosystem did not had that intensive, what do you call, visual effects ecosystem, which can process the visual effects actually. So what they did, they offloaded the whole thing. For a small example is that for one, I know if you have watched that, you know that the great red spots which is being there on the Jupiter, and the floating bands of gases or on the atmosphere made of hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, and helium, and thousands of rocket boosters firing in Nissan and all. So these are fantastic images, but this needs huge rendering capacity, which is not available with this Chinese ecosystem. What they leverage is the cloud technology. They took a partner in US, and which offered them to the compute system completely, right? And they could exploit it and develop the whole the movie without a hitch actually. So such a fantastic movie, and it has created wonders in the market. So like these are there, right? Like these are already there. These are going to be there in the future. As I told you, the aspiration for the humankind, to become transcend from Homo sapiens to Homo deus, like the human god, is already there, right? The teleporting and whatever you call it, right? Like the holograms and things like that. So this is available. So as engineers, right? Like I would want you all to see that you take up problems which actually are there to be solved actually. So these are some of the problems which are getting solved. These are all the opportunity which is available for you all to work on, right? Whatever you learn can be deployed here, but fundamentally, like my heart goes to these things actually. Like you should move from the leapfrogging tendencies to pole vaulting. So I always call it, you should nurture your entrepreneurial mindset to succeed in your career points actually. And to be, what does it make, right? Like entrepreneurial mindset. So it is nothing but you should constantly be questioning, like why not me, right? You should fearlessly experiment, right? And the experimentation should happen in such a way that it has to be at speed, agile, and adaptable. And you should be jumping out, multiple jumping in and out of the industry boundaries. For example, if you take a stream and you should not be bound to that particular stream. You should be willing to explore the outside the boundaries as well, and start leveraging that to grow really resilient. And in these times, this resiliency matters a lot actually, right? You should leverage all the platforms what comes in your way, the ecosystems, whatever is available. As I told you, we all are open, like as a organization, as a college. If you all are maybe post the COVID times, we are more than happy to engage each and every one. The students over here, we are happy to introduce to the startups operating in our own warehouses. Come and start learning from the ecosystem. We can also facilitate interactions, right? Like between industry leaders. So there are a lot of avenues there for you to go and explore. Please do leverage as much as possible. So this is your times actually. So this is fundamentally this is actually a $12 trillion opportunity which is waiting to be unearthed and unexplored. Not many organizations are already there. I would be very happy and see like if any of you would want to know more about it. This is a World Economic Forum, like the global UN nation has declared the sustainable goals. You should be able to solve at least a few goals, right? Like for the humanity. So the fundamental difference what we see from the Israeli ecosystem, we always go back to Israel and China model. Fundamentally, for the reason is that the China model is that the design thinking is embedded into the curriculum itself in their learning. Whereas if you see the Israeli model, so Israeli model is nothing but they don't focus on technology. Like whereas we do focus on a lot on the technologies, even Chinese do, or even the US do, but the Israelis try to solve problems actually. So they solve problems with whatever technology which helps to solve the problem. So that should be our focus. And if like any of you could get a chance to work on these areas, please do start thinking on those lines. And if you could use technology to solve all those problems, this is a big industry waiting to be boomed actually. Like you will see this industry growing maybe in another 3 to 4 years down the line. And you could think about it and focus on. So the last slide, right? um, this is actually like a mantra for leaders, the Stockdale paradox. So what it says is that this Stockdale actually, like this is written from a book actually, like Good to Great. So this is on top of like I think the gentleman name is called James Bond Stockdale. So he's a Vietnam, prisoner actually, a prisoner of war actually, and he has gone through the grueling times for about 7.5 years. And when they studied that how he could survive that 7.5 years, like many people died, right? Like it is 7.5 gruel torture, and many people died, and how this gentleman could survive. And on that, like they have written this note. And what we should do is that while agreeing to the reality, we should never lose the hope, and we should always balance optimism with realism, and we should be able to survive from even from this current COVID times strong. So that's it from my side. I stop here, and you can reach out to me. And watch out this space, like like NASCOM websites. You will have a lot of tons and tons of leading what do you call engineering topics and the leadership topics also. So it will be really good for everyone to access what the leaders think and how do they think the world is going to change for them. And feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you for the opportunity again.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really a wonderful and an informative session. We convey our heartfelt thanks to you for sharing your valuable knowledge with us. So now we have got few questions from our participants, sir.
Right.
The first question is, how do we ensure data security?
Okay, so it's a very what do you call what in depth. It's a good question, but it's really you need to dive really deep into this topic. Actually, it is not a what do you call one line answer which we can give. So data security happens in multiple levels, right? It is not the data security. I do not know what data security is talking about. So there are data security which is at the board level, the embedded board level. There are data securities at the network level. There are different levels of data security which happens actually, right? So everything needs a different approach. And there are methods which is available, which we can go really deep actually in each of it. I would like to answer, do not want to answer it in such a way on a what do you call one line answer to that. But we need to answer it specific. I think we can have a very detailed session also. Even I can facilitate that to happen. There are experts who can come down and do that for you.
We have the next question from Kiran Kumar. He have asked how to implement AI in agriculture, sir. Advance of AI in agriculture.
Yeah, so this is an interesting field actually. Like if you see that we have our own center of excellence for agriculture. There are a lot of organizations already started working on it. So AI plays a huge role, right? Like a very small example, I would like to call an organization called Cropin. I do not know if you have heard of. There are a lot of organizations, but Cropin is an organization which is actually founded in what do you call Bangalore. So this is an agricultural startup, right? What it does is nothing but it what do you call uses AI engines to what do you call, study the weather, the weather forecast, and what kind of the trends, and inform it to the what do you call, the farmers. So another interesting thing, the program which is running in Andhra, right, like partially being worked from our side as well, is called Harita. So what it does is that it uses, like, if you see, for example, hectares of multiple hectares of land which is available. So what it does is that it uses IoT and AI combined, right? And what it does is that the IoT sensors which is available, which is deployed at the fields, it constantly gives you data, like, what kind of data is, like the soil, what do you call, moisture content. It could be the green in the, what do you call, leaves. It could be the what do you call, snapshots of the leaf, spirals and things like that and all. So how it helps is actually, if you see that, in one end of the field, if any it could be a leaf spiraling, or any of the insect, what do you call, being attacked, what it happens is that the AI system studies itself, and alerts the respective zones, farmers, asking them to contain it at their own zone, respective areas itself. So this goes manifold, right? Even the ones which I showed you, the color sorters, right? Like, pickers, which is available, the robots which is available. So what happens is that the AI engine can study the pattern of the color shading, and of the fruit bearing and things like that, and can alert the farmers as well, and what needs to be done further. So there are a lot of interesting areas. I think you should best study a few of the organizations which are in this field. You will have a real what do you call, opportunity there as well.
Thank you, sir. We have the next question. The participant actually wants to know the thoughts on his two statements. I will read out the two statements. The first
Hmm.
statement is that, are there any reasons why AI can't replace the human touch? And his thought is whether technology can impact or touch the human art of work. So he wants to relate your thoughts on these two statements, sir.
So yeah, for can you come again on the second question? Like, sorry, I missed.
His thought about technology is it can't impact or touch the human art of work.
Mhm. Okay, so like, I know where you are coming from, and like, I think these are myths actually. I'll give you a small. You all read Moore's law, right? Moore's law, what it states, it's an exponential trend, right? I'm not saying humans will be replaced. So but like, we will leave our spaces to do a lot more creative work than the mundane task. So small example to you is that, like, when we started our silicon, right, the wafers, we could accommodate only like in the kind of one transistor in about a centimeter, is what is when we started. But you see the current trend now with the computational power which we have added to a silicon, right? The 7 nanometer silicons and things like that. So it can, what I speak now, the whole time, yeah, I don't know how to say, like, the whole, how much time it has taken, that much amount of silicons can be accommodated in a tip of the pencil, right? So transistors can be accommodated. That's the growth which we are in. So it is like this, that by 20 already, like by 2022, the laptop which is available to you, right? Like let's say like about a 50,000 rupees laptop which is available to you, which can do a computation power equivalent to a mouse's brain, right? Whereas if you shift the whole scene, about 10 years down the line from that time, like let's say 2030 or something like that, 2030, 32, it can, the $50,000 rupees laptop can do a processing of a human brain. And the truth is that at the end of 2040, 45, right, you can check this all data which is available. 2045, the entire human race's computational power can be accommodated or can be bought, can be, combined or, packed in a laptop, which will cost 50,000 then, right? So that's where we are going through. And think of it like, if you have so much of computational power and so much of learning is already started, and a lot of mundane tasks what we do these days will all be replaced for sure. And we will be left with to do with things which are really, really creative. And it is up to us to decide that you want to be there in the creative side, or you want to be in the queue to look for jobs. Sorry for the long answer, but yeah, that's the truth actually.
Thank you, sir. We have the next question. How can AI and IoT use for solving climatic change problems?
Like people have not, bought onto that idea. Actually, we can identify the problem, right? We can say that there is a problem, but the act has to happen at the political level. There has to be enough of willpower to implement things. So what IoT and AI can do is that first, for now, is that infer. We are at that stage now, but how to solve is a different question altogether, because the solution here is that to cut down on the emission, right? Like, for that, again, like, the lot of things like your clean energy, the many things which can, which needs to reduce the, output of this, greenhouse emissions actually. So IoT and AI definitely can facilitate, these changes, but only provided that, like there is enough political will to make it happen. So it can, predict and tell us that this is what will happen, and these systems can help us to avoid until unless we are ready to invest on those cleaner technologies.
We have the next question from a faculty, sir. What technologies can be used for education post COVID 19? And what is the status during COVID 19 and post COVID 19? She is asking. It is from a YouTube viewer.
Yeah. So I got, if I got the question right, actually, like, you were saying what technologies will help in learning, is it?
Yes, sir. Help in learning. That's what she meant.
Say, like, so I don't know, like, it is not technology which will help actually, but it is the willingness of us to do explore technologies actually to learn. As I said, meaning, obviously there are technologies behind which we need to go after. If I have to answer it short, the AI, artificial intelligence, and like the IoTs, and the what do you call algorithms, which can predictive algorithms, which can help us to learn what is the areas of strength, and how we want to shape actually. But to put it in a different perspective, right? Like, as I said, like, we should not be focusing on technologies, rather we should focus on problems. We should try and understand as much as problems and leverage the technologies to explore further. So you do not know, like, I have started taking up, though I have graduated from a down south college, and it is open to us, right? Like, MIT's courses are available open, like, the full fall 2015 AI course is available with us. And why not explore that actually? Like, we should explore that completely, learn from them as well, from one of the top colleges, right? Like, they have a different flair to learn as well. I don't know if I answered it right. So, if I did not, please do apologies for that.
We have the last question for today's session, sir. It is from a student.
Mhm.
He has asked how to get equipped for jobs related to sustainable development.
How to
Get equipped. What are the skills required to get
right,
job in
yeah.
sustainable development?
Yes. See, like, first and foremost, actually, like, it's really a good question, and I'm happy that somebody at least started thinking towards in this direction. So, the main thing is that I think you should have the what do you call willingness to solve a problem. So these problems are really huge. And world, if you go to that Sustainable Development Goals, which is released, it clearly lays out the areas which you can focus. So you should choose one of the problem you would like to, or one or two of the problems, and then start building your capabilities around. So if I say that if you want to solve a problem, let's say sustainable mobility, right? If you want to solve a problem, for what you should be learning there is actually a bit of the chemistry and stuff like that, where you will understand how all this, how you will be able to develop energy cells from what the available resources which we have. And when I said chemistry, you need not go to become a you need not study MSc chemistry or something like that, but you should be fairly aware of what the energy density is, what is the how's a cell, what does a cell compose, and things like that, and start developing, focusing on power electronics more, right? So mainly the focus, if you focus on the power electronics area to solve such problems, I think you will be much more equipped actually. So fundamentals will help you. But each of the problem, as I told you, will need different flavors, and these are given in very very detailed. You can go and download this Sustainable Development Goals, which is available in UN website. And you will there is an executive summary which is very very short. You will be able to appreciate the kind of problem and the kind of what you call technology which can assist in solving it. For lack of time, I've just covered only one.
Thank you so much, sir, for patiently answering the questions posted by our participants.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, it is indeed really a good session. Actually, the quality of questions shows the quality of the participants is really good.
Thank you, sir. Now we have Dr. M. Selvi, Professor of EC Department, with us, who have arranged the guest for today's session. Ma'am?
Hello.
Selvi, ma'am?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, Madhu, it was a great session, and you have reflected my mind was that people have to kindle up their entrepreneurship skill, and we have to kindle that among our young minds.
Right.
Thank you, Madhu, for that, which I used to tell my students.
We lost you there, I believe.
Selvi, ma'am? I think there are network issues on our side.
Yeah, yeah. No problem.
We thank all the participants for joining with us today. Hope you would have enjoyed the session well, and most of the questions have been answered by our speaker. Our upcoming webinar is on Importance of Engineering to Make a Good Career by Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan, TEDx speaker, Siemens Mobility GmbH Germany, scheduled July 10th, that is tomorrow from 5 to 6 p.m. I request all faculty and students to attend the webinars and get benefited.
So I have a small announcement to make here, actually.
Yes, sir. Sure, you can make it, sir.
See, I have put a what do you call? We are actually, if you watch NASSCOM's web page, right, you will get to access a lot of contents. So these are though you all learn a lot of technical, but I think if you start listening to industry's leaders, you will know that where the industry is going, and you'll be able to give a lot of direction to your own thoughts, and you can shape it up further. So we do conduct a lot of master classes. We do conduct a lot of webinar series, all free of cost. So there is a virtual master class which is coming up in the next week from Wednesday onwards between 4 to 5, which is conducted by well-known industry leaders from SAP and other places. So I have put the link for everyone to access. Please do register these sessions, and you will also be able to gain some badges, collect the badges, which is being recognized by NASCOM and SAP, right? Like most of the students can leverage this. So please access it.
Sure, sir. We will
From my
share it with
side,
our students and the participants, sir. Thanks for the
thanks
information,
a
sir.
lot. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you all liked it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our upcoming webinar is on importance of engineering to make a good career by Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan, TEDx speaker, Siemens Mobility GmbH, Germany, scheduled July 10, that is tomorrow from 5 to 6 p.m. I request all faculty and students to attend the webinars and get benefited. I kindly request the participants to fill the feedback link with correct mail ID. Link for feedback form and e-certificate will be posted in chat box and in our YouTube live streaming page. Please fill the form and receive your e-certificates through mail within 2 days. Participants kindly complete filling feedback form within 15 minutes after the session gets over. We like to inform that feedback link will not be shared through WhatsApp or mail. Thank you all for your participation. Stay safe. Our upcoming webinar is on importance of engineering to make a good career by Mr. Vijay Praveen Maharajan,
Hello.
TEDx speaker, Siemens Mobility GmbH, Germany, scheduled July 10, that is tomorrow from 5 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I request all the participants to attend the webinars and get benefited.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.